Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hater plotting my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding dotted line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win it, I'm feeling great. Got a date with destiny, focusing on my fate. I don't give a f what you rapping, you been a fake. I'm everything that they ain't, it can't be, it won't be. Wanna see me fall, I can't go, I won't leave. Coming from the block with plain clothes and police. Straight up to the top with bankrolls and rollies. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, 12 can't really stop, so I'm still pushing like a mosh pit. Ice dripping, think I'm hot, in a yellow bucket with the mop stick. I've been jugging jams like wholesale, everything must go sell. Hitting with the old well, need 100 million on the low scale. On my worst night, I'm the best, wouldn't mess with you, couldn't cap to him. Homie spotted me like 700, brought 1100 right back to him. If I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Got 5 on it.
I can get you through this when it hurts and it's bad, yeah. Don't ever feel like you're all alone when it's bad. I can get you through this when it hurts and it's bad, yeah. Don't ever feel like you're all alone when it's bad.
Is this the right button right here? This one right here when I push it? Is that the right one I need? I want to make sure I do this right. Okay. What? No. Yeah. This one right here, right? Alrighty. Gosh, I'm too nervous. It's my first time. Well, I don't want to break a leg. I want to break an arm. Yeah, that's weird. Okay. Oh man, they can't throw nothing at me, are they? All right. So this button right here, right? All right, here we go. Welcome everyone to Late Night Crypto Charts with Road Dog. And my name's Bobby Joe Rumblemaker, and there's no music on this. Hey, there's no music here. You got is it this button right here? Ooh, check it out. We got us some music here. My name's Bobby Joe Rumblemaker. I'm filling in for Road Dog for a little bit because he's in the poo poo. He had to go take number two. It's gonna take him a little bit because he likes cheese. I'm just saying. But until then, let's go. So you guys don't know, this here's Tangem Wallet. One of the best places to keep your crypto. You do need an NFC enabled phone. Kind of like this one right here. And you get this cool little card as your key. Yeah. And boom, boom. Tap, tap, that easy to do things, but very, very secure. Very secure. You guys want to get a Tangem Wallet? Road Dog's got this code right up here called DAWG. He didn't graduate. He went to one of them elementary schools out there in the woods. No, I did too. Still, you know, dog's got 2 G's in it. DAWG discount code, save you 10% on the Tangem Wallet, and it will hold Caspa. Fellers, altcoins be booming. Yes, sir. Who we got over here in the chat? Let's go check it out. We got Stragahart. We got JN. How's you dudes doing, man? I'm gonna walk you through the charts tonight. Or at least the Road Dog gets off the toilet, and then maybe, I don't know. I'm just feeling in right now, fellers. How's it going? What? That button's right here, right? That's the button we're looking for, right there. All right. Oh, is that Road Dog? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Mr. Road Dog. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with me as one moment while we just kind of clarify what's going on here. Pardon me for being a little bit late, but Bobby Joe just there hanging things together for us. I think we're ready to rumble. All right. So guys, how's them bags looking, man? Them bags be pumping up a little bit. We doing okay in the in our portfolios. Should be seeing a nice little lift, but let's talk about that a little bit. Altcoins do seem to be running. I just want to bring this to your attention, though. Let's pull this one up. Total 3 market cap. There should be a 3. Excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And look at that, baby. She's just been running up. And I'm here on the 1 hour chart. Let's just zoom out a little bit. It's always good to zoom out and see the bigger picture, but nice run up, higher highs, higher lows. And we see that in our altcoin bags, but is the party almost over? That's what we got to look at that just for a second, because we're coming up to a resistance area. coming up to a couple of resistance areas. So we just want to keep our mind on that and just kind of go over eventually what we're looking at here as a whole. Now we're up to $375 billion in altcoins, and we're looking for it to run up here to right around 405. And that's where I've got this nice little juicy red line here as a horizontal resistance area. But before we get there, we've got a little bit of a headache to go through. And that is this major trend line that we fell below, created a small little bear trap, ran up, came back. And are we doing another bear trap? Now remember, this is a line that was very important to us for this whole move, for this last bull cycle, this whole cycle. And we fell below it, and we are still below it. And we talked about this before, how this could be making a Adam and Eve double bottom. We also got a smaller Adam and Eve possible type double bottom that's just now confirming a neckline. What we need to see is a flag, hopefully above that neckline. It can happen below it, and you know, we may see some various results from that. We've got this horizontal trend line, diagonal trend line right here. Let's go ahead and blow that little guy up because that's important. And that's where we're facing resistance now. Technically, we're trying to get a breakout above that. Now, are things turning on our side on this Saturday night going into Sunday when the CMEs will open back up? CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange futures for Bitcoin will open back up. Maybe, but you know, we still got a little leeway, but I do think we might flag out here before we go up. So altcoins may get a little wishy-washy over the next few days. Now we are on the daily chart here. Maybe this coming week, it may be a little wishy-washy, but still up further than we were. And there's always a chance we could get rejected in here, but I'm not seeing that yet on the daily. Daily actually looks strong as far as our indicators go, as far as our moving averages go. I do want to point out this, that in the next few days, we are getting prepared to possibly see the 50 moving average. It's that blue one cross over the 200 moving average, which is that yellow one, which is your buy signals for this chart, altcoins in general, meaning the next pullback. Go hard, baby. Go hard. So over the next 2 weeks, we may see some juicier price out of altcoins, as usually when that happens, there may be a little bit of a pullback. Hopefully we'll be flagging out up here and working our way up to this $405 billion market cap. And from there, we've got a chance for another 50, 60 billion to come in. And if that happens, yeah, everybody gonna be smiling. Everything's gonna be cool because our number go up. We need to change you out a minute. Yeah, let's go with this one. So it's possibly what we're seeing in store for altcoins, but I just want to remind you that overall, for the last 2 years, we've been mostly in accumulating at these bottom areas and selling off when we get to the top areas, about that 405 billion. So keep that in mind. No guarantees that we're going to break up above that 405 billion just yet. Could get, you know, still could trade sideways for a little while. So good places to try to moonbag if you can fit that into your strategy. Definitely what I am working on. And then we see where things go. Strickett says, tell Road Dog to go back to number 2. JN says, can you look at, oh, Total 3 USDT? Yeah, okay. So we got you right here. Now, Total 3 USDT. Does that even work? Well, my gosh, I'll be darned. I've never tried that before. That looks interesting. What does it tell me? So we're still in billions of dollars over here. Only it's 290. So if we're looking at this chart, we got a possible breakout, although, you know, we can put it to the wicks there just to
get the extent of that move, and we're not quite there. We're wicking out of it, but to really get a breakout, we need a candle close above that. There's a little bit of volume coming in, so that's kind of cool. Now, this is total 3 against Tether. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that one out. I've never looked at this chart in that perspective before. I would have thought the regular total 3 would have been in a dollar amount, since we're talking about billions. One thing I see on this chart, though, you see this 100 moving average starting to kamikaze down on this 200. That's not usually the greatest sign. And the Ichimoku cloud's not in the most ideal place, but we've seen that on the other chart too. Still, we could still get a little sliver of green. I mean, we just kind of go sideways for a little while on both of those charts. But we are looking at a possible breakout here. MACD does kind of like it, and I'm on the weekly chart here, and numbers are still going up there. Take a measured move, put that as a possibility, and this one's saying a possibility of $438 billion. Kind of leads to this area right over here where we would naturally find some resistance, so a little bit of confidence there. Not sure that I kind of grasp the meaning of this particular chart in compared to total 2, total 3, or total 3 just by itself. Total market cap. It's my understanding that this actually does represent the billions of dollars in the crypto market. Whereas the other, I think, is just be that. How would that work? That against Tether. But there are, there's some differences in the numbers there. So this is one that I'm familiar with and using. So for my analysis, this is the one that I kind of stick with. It's showing some bullish tendencies, but again, here's that Ichimoku cloud, just like we saw on the other. It's a little lackluster, which tells me that there's a good chance that, even doing our best, we're still going to kind of struggle with these areas a little bit. So a little up and down for altcoins overall over, I would say the next 3 or 4 weeks, but doesn't mean that the good ones aren't going to be popping off, and we're seeing that, and that's kind of cool. Caspa's one, I put the video out today. It's kind of worth looking at again here quickly on the chart. I've got that over on MEXC here. Let's get rid of some of these lines. And there's been a little bit of a pullback there, and it's still basically the same scenario that I put out back in August. It's just progressed. But one difference is, we're still beneath this trend line. That's the big thing. It's not the same situation we're here, where nothing is official till we break out above that trend line. And what happened right now? Well, we're getting rejected here. Does that mean that it's over? Well, no, it may make a second run for it, but it's getting a little less likely that it will. Since it wasn't so bullish there, we lost our 9 moving average here on the daily. So just some signs to look out there. The jump to the upside is not official, and I tried to make that clear in my video. If you're in Caspa, any play, this is a possibility that we could see out, not just Caspa, but a lot of altcoins. A bullish breakout out of this pattern, and you're buying the tops. You literally are buying the tops, and there's a safe way to do that, and that's to wait for a pullback to those levels. But it's overall risky. Not my favorite setups at all. I like buying on the bottom of the trend lines, low areas. Buying at a top area where it may be confirming a breakout and going into the price discovery, that is risky, but a lot of people do see that as being bullish. Overall, it is bullish, as Caspa need to find new ground and then find its value. But until that confirms, you're taking a good risk buying that green candle, like Chef would say. I think he left that in my comments. Don't buy green candles, and I agree. You're taking a very high risk if you're trying to pull this play out. That's why we wait for a retest, make sure that we're getting higher highs, higher lows before you jump in. Then you're in a much safer position to ride the train up, rather than getting faked out and pulled down to 3.5 cents, which is a possibility that's still on the table for this pattern in Caspa. So for Caspa, if you believe in it and you are buying here, and it's risky, it may not work out, it may turn out wonderful for you, But if it doesn't, are you cool with the possibility of this coming back to 5 cents or possibly even dropping back down to 3 cents or gosh, maybe 2.7? Not out of the picture. Is that cool with you? If you're cool with that, hey, if you're doing the investment, the DCA strategy, no hurries, you're just building a bag for this later on. Smart move, by the way. I think that's awesome. And you're cool with the possibility of it dropping 50% from where it is. You don't mind seeing that $500 bag, $1,000 bag, $5,000 bag go to half of that. You're fine. You're fine. Otherwise, stop loss somewhere around 5.1 cents. Might be something you want to look at. Jan says the other charts is the, let me get that box off there, is the altcoins without the top 10, I thought. The others chart. There may be, I'm just not familiar with it. I might have to dig in that. Total 3 USDT is without stablecoin. Okay, that's it. Oh, minus, well, okay. So better altcoin indicator. Possibly. Possibly. Jan says, what if I put 2250 in these alts, near vet, Arweave, ENJ, LRC, XYO, PHA, KSM? Can it be worth 45K in a bull run? For $2,200 to get 45K? It can definitely happen. With those particular coins, you can safely expect about a 10x. So to see that to get to around 25,000, you can safely assume that will happen. 45 depends on how you play it, how your emotions get in the way, and if you're recycling, because you would have to change some things around. It wouldn't be like just buy now and then hit that 45 with the 2200. You'd have to do a little work with that. A lot of those are good projects. Some of them are a little slow, like LRC. That one's kind of slow until it's not. Arweave. They're all great projects. And I think I've got a little. I think the only one that I don't have at the moment is Loop Ring. But I've got some smaller bags of some of them, and then Arweave is. I've got a decent bag. Near is one of my bigger bags. BET is definitely one of my bigger bags because that one you can always count on. To make some amazing gains. Bela, I think I got when you mentioned that on the stream. So I like that and put a little in it. And KSM is I don't know, it's a small bag of that. That's what I got. One Hit Aquitta's in the house. Shout out to One Hit Aquitta. Shout out to all you guys. Thank you for joining me. So whether you join me live or join me later, we just kind of take a look quickly at Bitcoin and then start moving into the altcoins because that's where the juicy money is sometimes. Jan says LRC is a weird chart, but I like it. All right, let's start taking a look at some of these then. A lot of the altcoins are starting to move. And Caspa, and this one's, we've got this type of thing playing out on several other coins. I think, maybe even take a look at Joystream. Can't remember if it's in this pattern or not. The biggest thing I want to say about Caspa is that we've flipped this area of resistance. It's now support. So as long as it holds right around 5.5 cents, 5.4, right through there, whatever our top was here on this candle, as long as we don't start dipping below that, we should be good, but we could still go sideways before either we go break to the upside or break to the downside. And there's some tendencies and things that make me think that we may still have a possibility to break to the upside, but there's no guarantees, people. There's no guarantees. Just keep that in mind. Don't want to hear about Road Dogg, you told me. No, I'm telling you, use your freaking head, use your damn common sense. It's very risky if you're jumping in these things when they're at their highs, which they are right now. But it could turn out good. Doesn't mean it's going to. Use some caution. Nibble, baby, just nibble. This is, if anything, this is nibble time. This is definitely not go all in time, in my personal opinion. Jan says Theta 2. I like Theta. Can you look at PHA? Is it good now to DCA heavy? Let's start taking a look at some of these. All right, so let's go back over indices here, just kind of clarify what is going on. The biggest thing is Bitcoin dominance is coming down. So since my point at me is that's right. So as long as dominance is starting to come down, we're seeing that total 3 is starting to go up. And our stable coin down here, this is Tether dominance down here, it's still falling. So people are now starting to sell out of their Bitcoins. The traders taking a little profit from their Bitcoin, and it's going into the altcoins, and it's going into the juicy altcoins. Now, I've got this watch list, and all these are the ones that have been doing very well for this whole year. Pendle, Caspa, BAI, Naka, INJ, FET, THN. I don't even know what is THN. Throne, not even familiar with it, but it's been doing good. 7x this whole year. There's some others I've got here on favorites. These are some of the newcomers that have started coming up for this year. Demetria is actually starting to gain a little ground now. It was doing kind of poorly for a while. PBX is a big one that's been up. RVF, that is Rocket Exchange, doing well right now. TRB has been hot for a while. TRB, oh well, you live and you learn. Gas for Neo Gas has just been going crazy. A lot of good projects there to keep your eyes on. So these are the strong ones. These are the strong ones right now. I come over here to the 100 market cap, and for the top 100, there's your strong ones. There are your strong ones to be looking at. SDX included. Stacks will go up with Bitcoin. And oh, look at you go, E-Gold. That's a nice one. All right, let's start jumping into these. Come on, Casper, you make that breakout. You do it, baby. Let's turn on those regular candles there. Are you doing it? Oh, she's still getting rejected right there, aren't you? She's making lower highs and lower lows there, so there may be a rejection coming back down to this 9 moving average here on the 4 hour. That's 55 cents, 5.5 cents, what we talked about in the video, and even here in the stream. She may not be making it above there, but if nothing else, she's poking a hole there. She's making it weak. She's trying. All right. PHA. Balin Network. Hey, I think my coin market cap is working better now. Balin Network. See if I can back out of the way here. Forget that I'm on this side where all the information is. 10 cents right now, and there is quite a few of these coins. It's not as many as some of them, though. We're looking at 1 billion coins. 62% of that is in circulation right now. All-time high was $1.41, and that was 2 years ago. So we know that in the past we've gotten a 10x from where we currently are in this. All-time low is just 7 cents. That's interesting. So Phalo, we're going to come and look at you on the daily, and I can tell you right now that just looks really good to me. We're above the 200 moving average, and the 9 has just crossed it, and that's a good sign. Now there can be a pullback to the 21. It can happen. It's worth talking about, but hopefully, you know, we can stay above these two trend lines and see some definite more upside. Overall, we've got this trend line as a line in the sand there. From this wick coming up to the bottom of these candles, and you can see we got one wick that kind of poked through that just a little bit. That's a little, you know, I'm keeping an eye on you. But we need this to hold, and if it doesn't hold, you could definitely look for, you know, some juicier prices and a pullback either to the 50%, and that looks like where it would want to go. But it can also come lower, 618 or the 786 area. You can take a measure move from this. And if we do lose it, it suggests that we might come back to 0.09 cents as a possibility. Just a possibility. We're not even looking at that happening right now because we're on a bigger time frame and it's above the 9 moving average. No worries yet. It looks like it wants to go, but just throwing that out there. Did I erase that? No, I've got it there. So the 4 hour also looks kind of juicy for Bela. I was looking for a breakout of that. Did it? Yeah, that would be a breakout with volume here. So that's cool. You can even put it here and say we're getting a breakout with volume. Both ways would be correct. And the breakout here says we could be headed for just a little under 11 cents. This is more of a shorter term. This is on the 4 hour. So that looks a little juicy to me. I like to zoom out though. Let's go ahead and zoom out. Because really it's when you zoom out, that's when you get the real feels, right? 3-day chart's also good, cuts out some of the noise. So we've been bottoming out here. That's basically what it's been. So guys, at this part in crypto, you are in at the best times, man. You really are. Last year around this time was not a bad time to be in a lot of these coins. September, August, September, sometime in October. Some of them got to pull back there in December. Great times to be accumulating your bags here, and I hope you guys were, because I definitely was. Taking profits when they go up. Sometimes we're good at that, sometimes we suck at it. And had we been better at it, we would have had more dry powder to buy at these other juicy prices that we've recently seen. So just getting away from the shorter term time frame, let's look and see what's going on in the bigger term. Now there is a double bottom situation going on here, and that's very cool. I like that. I mean, if you're looking for bull run prices and not just looking for some trade that's going to be going on over the next week or so, if you're looking for long term, talking about investment, cash out, bull run, I mean, once this confirms, it's going to take it a while to confirm though, right? It's got to get back up here to this area to confirm. That's at 46 cents. That's a 4x from now. But once it does that, then we're starting to look at 80 or 90 cents, because after that confirmation, we can then use this measure move, put that to our neckline, and we're coming in at 89 cents right there, which is also a resistance area right over here. So worth looking at and just estimating for the future there. Let's clean this chart out just a little bit. So these are some of the things I like about this as far as long-term holding. I do have a bag of this and it's been being fine. Zoom in out a little bit more. We got a lot of noise over here, even on the weekly chart. And it was basically a symmetrical triangle, which, broke to the downside and did what it do. But right here in this area, 79, 80 cents, that's going to be a little bit of a headache. And we may find ourselves kind of ranging through there. This is another interesting area right at 48 cents. That will be a little bit of a headache. It's in a range up through there, and it's got to flip up to that next level. So we may see some more spikes up on this. It may just go sideways. It's going to, it's got a lot of space to fill. And here's another level. Put that as a mid level. That would be a nice little target shoot for it. 30 cents there. And even right here at 22, that's going to be a little zone area. We could pull fibs, go that route, and you'll probably see some confluence with some of these areas. The 382 and right here at the 618, let's just go ahead and grab that one up there. And that makes perfect sense to me, especially that 382. You got to get above that to see more upward action, and you also got to get above 17.8 cents. That will be actually the next target that we should be shooting for, is the 17.8, 17.3 cents. Because if it can't get above that, that means it's going to range out through here and back to 7, just about around 8 cents or something. So it's got to get above 17.3. And you can put a distant target in about 59. So this is just at the bottom of the pattern, man. This is when the whales are picking this up. This is when the big money is starting to, they've been slowly nibbling and building their positions, and that's just what smart money does. And you guys are looking at this with the smart money, so I say keep it up. So DCA strategy for Phala, yeah. Any time that you're seeing these things at a bottom, like if you see a big giant double bottom on a weekly time frame, and you're down toward the bottom of it, man, that's perfect DCA time. You can't get much better than that. Lowest risk DCA right there. Does Phala have a 50x potential? Well, we already see that it has a 10x potential. And a lot of that just depends on its sector, what it does, and its tokenomics. So Phala, I have to refresh my memory. That's why I like CoinMarketCap, because it'll tell me, it'll give me a description of it. So it's a layer 1, right? Privacy preserving cloud computing service. It's not a layer 1, it's a network. Okay. Phala Networks, a privacy-preserving computing service which offers computing power comparable to existing cloud services and protects the privacy. I think that's what turned me on, because it, and there's several projects that kind of do this, but I think that's going to be important with Web3. And you're asking, can it do 50x potential? It's got a $66 million market cap. I can easily see that going to 660, and that would be your 10x. And it could possibly get up to $1 billion. We got 1 billion tokens. Realistic, I mean, you could look for 1 billion total supply in this thing. I would conservatively say that you could see $1 to $3 out of this whole run. So I would say that's possible. Will it do that? Well, I mean, we just have to wait and see. But there's definitely that potential. I can just tell you, you're getting into it now is the best time. And a year from now, you'll look back and say, you'll pat yourself on the back. Straight is still waiting on that $20 crow. Oh, you mean, man, I'd be tickled with I got a small bag of it. But that would be awesome. That would turn that small bag into, I don't know. Would that be a Lambo? All right, let's check out Near Protocol. What kind of target? Why you got all these levels? To me, that looks like a lot of targets. That is a lot of targets in my personal opinion. Why do I have so many targets? Let's clean this little baby up here. And they're all blue. Why are they blue? All right, Near, we've got some rounding here. It's finding its bottom. Got a little bit lower than the last one. But we've recovered that very nicely, so that is cool. Here's a support resistance area about 283. That's going to be a little bit of a headache. This area at 611, which, gosh, can't wait to get back to there. So you've got this rounding on the bottom, and it's not through yet. And basically, we may possibly be in this range up to 280, like we were over here. May do that for a little while. We've got the wedge formation here on the rounded bottom, and I like that. Fits a little bit better right here. And then you will see it range out, and sometimes you might see it do, the bearish megaphone kind of shape. and maybe do another little rising wedge. This is just typically how I usually see things work out with these things. Something to look at. You end up getting like a, you know, where's our thing? You know, we get a little breakout. You may trade in this for a little while and then fall and then do this rising wedge, and then you get your parabolic breakout. It's a situation like that, but you're still in a range. And it's a pretty decent range, man. You got about 80%. It's a good area to slowly build bags, in my personal opinion, when you're in accumulation. That's the whole point of accumulation, is to build those bags. And the whales just, you know, they get into a range, support resistance area, and take profit up here and buy more down at the bottom, and they do that as many times as they can through there. Build a bigger bag, and then when it's ready, it explodes, and that's how the life-changing money is made. That is the whale strategy right there. So you're right in the middle of it here on the weekly chart. Daily chart looks pretty cool for near. We got the same situation. We're flagging out above the 200 moving average and 9 moving average popping above that. Hey, what more can you expect on short-term time frame? I mean, yeah, there can be a pullback, most notably to the 9 moving average there at $1.38. But it may take a little while to get here. 4 hour even looks juicy there. Maybe getting a bounce up now. Again, might be getting a breakout of this flag. I mean, treat this as a bull flag. That's about a 57% shot of playing out. And that's saying the target could be at $2.11 for that target. So that's kind of cool. That's on the 4 hour time frame. And oops, don't move it. Let's lock that in. $2.11. You can also grab out your good old trusty Fibonacci's there, and look at that confluence. 618 comes in where? Right where measure move is. I would keep that as a viable target. So I think that's where we're headed right there. That's 618 pullback. Also put 243 on the books there. I don't have anything showing confluence as of yet for that move. This is really more of a channel. That move would suggest just a little bit less, a little bit under that, about $2. So just some ideas there. And if you're looking for a target, just some name for them, a little bit longer term, $3.28 could be on the table right there. Let's mark that red. That's a 1272 Fibonacci level. So it looks like just a lot of good upside, but with the possibility of a pullback. Remember, when we break out of these channels, it's got about a 64% chance to pull back. Retest this area before it goes back up again, and that area could be here at the 100 and the 21 moving average. So we could see, not saying that we will, but there's a possibility of a pullback, and it may have to go up before it comes back there. May see something like that. What'd I do? Can you back that out? Good. But right now, it looks like she's flagging out and she wants to go for the $2.10. So kind of what I'm looking at right there. A lot of things are starting to pop up. Look pretty juicy to me. And how do I think XYO is looking overall? I've got a little moon bag of that I've had for quite a while. Are we doing blues now? XYO. A lot of coins, man. 13.9 billion. Most of them in circulation, so it's got that going for it. This is what the chart looks like overall. Had a nice little pump up of 70 cents and then lost it, and that was November of 2021 during the second run up of Bitcoin. All right. Got a little sheen over here on this side. Oh, well, look, that took care of it right there. Too much light. So XYO, I have to refresh my memory for what it does. And I don't see it on here. XYO is a cryptocurrency, operates on the Ethereum platform, is a current supply, and blah, 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 blah. Tells me nothing. Tells me nothing. I've got a moon bag of this, but this is not one that I've been, it's not been on my hot list to accumulate or anything like that. I've looked at it before, and I can't remember the deals about it, but something about it just kind of made me think, whatever. I don't think it fit my solid use case, but let's see. It's time to stop creating messy, unreliable, average data. XYO's protocol creates organized, long-term solution for any kind of data you're making today. Yay. 3 core features baked into everything XYO. So data sovereignty is the right to own, control, and store and create the data you create, whether it's a tap. But there's a tap or an ad or the results of an annual blood test. With data sovereignty, you have true control over who you are and your future. So I think we're getting onto the digital ID and digital kind of data stuff. Transparent token and code, open source tech. I think it's a little too early for this stuff right now. I don't know that we will see... How do you say this? I don't think we actually had the need for this so much yet, as we're still waiting for Web3 to take off. So it may be a little bit early for that sector. Where'd the chart go? We did look at the chart, right? XYO? Maybe we didn't. Looking at Coinbase. So it's not one that I'm trying to get a big bag of right now. This one may be ready, better suited for the next bull. I don't know. That's just my feelings and thoughts on it. Doesn't mean that I'm correct. Just throwing out my 2 cents. Put it with your research, and then you make your own decisions. You may be right on the money on it, and I just may have overlooked it. So it is in bottom territory. So getting in down here, hard to mess it up when you're at the very bottoms. Hard to screw it up. So, if you're going to take a chance, these are the places to take a chance on it. Just right off the bat, I'd be looking at that 618 fib right there, 0.00745 as a juicy target for it, and that would double it. You could get in it, if you got into it now, you could moonbag it at that price point. However, we're not quite there yet. It's in a situation where on the daily, it hasn't broken above the 200, so it's in danger of getting rejected here, and that could happen. We could get rejected. Price could even come up above that, still get rejected. You see the moving average of 9 turn over underneath that 200. That could happen. So until we actually get a cross of those two, you're still kind of in wishy-washy territory, and especially if price is not above the 200. Those are the things that I would need to see to feel that, we still got some more upside to go. Otherwise, we could just be retesting the breakout right now and coming back down to 0.0033, which is not too far from where we're at. That's not that big of a drop. unless you're trying to do leverage or something. It's about 7%. So I think that's interesting. But remember, like I said, you know, hard to lose big when you're buying at the bottoms, but it's a lot easier to if you're one of the guys that just like to take this and throw it on a wallet and sit back and forget about it. Yeah, this is the time you want it. So a nice play. If we get a pullback to the 9 moving average and make our target there, it's 117%. 9 moving average is coming in 0.00343. Jane says, I like the analysis. Thanks. My pleasure, man. Strega says, I did a lot of swapping based solely on coin circulation. And JN says, but is it now time to start DCA into alts with dollars? Can it drop more? Yeah, it can, and that's why we're keeping up with this chart here. This is just the total 3, and this is the 4 hour. Now, here's what I pointed out on this, and one of the things I'm saying, we had this rising wedge, we broke up to the upside of it, right? Good sign. Means that we could possibly be going parabolic. We got a retest of it, and we're still going, but this line right here, copy that, bring it up. We're still in a channel, so we're at a point of resistance, and that's what I was saying earlier in my video looking at total 3. We could be getting a pullback here. So it's a good place to also take profits, but we could also still continue making higher highs and higher lows, and maybe even still get that parabolic move. And that's one reason why I was trying to look at that on the bigger. Where we got total 3. Look at it on its own page here. And then when you zoom out to the bigger time frames, you're reminded, oh, there's that major trend line that we lost, which is just a little bit higher. So alts are looking good now. I just think they have a little bit of a struggle because they've got a lot of trend lines and a lot of resistance points to break through. We've got several different patterns. This main one that we got to break back up into, that's going to be a little pain. And we just broke to the bullish side of this, which is cool. So I would say the next 25 billion coming in altcoins is going to have a struggle. And then when we get past about 409 billion, it should be a lot easier for us to see bigger moves out of altcoins. And then that kind of makes us have to look again at Bitcoin dominance on a bigger time frame to see what's going on here. And that's remembering that, you know, it's a opening broadening pattern or a bearish megaphone, you call it that. And we're getting some rejection here at another trend line. When we zoom out on the weekly, we can see that better. This trend line is where we're getting rejection there. Big news for Bitcoin within the first 2 weeks of August. Did that happen? That was a prediction. I was wondering about a month ago, where did I put that prediction? What was that about? I don't know. Where was that? August? I can't tell. I can't remember what happened in August. But on Bitcoin dominance, look what's going on. We got the 9 crossing the 200 here on the weekly. Boom, boom. MACD is crossing here, so that means pretty soon something's going to happen that's going to draw a lot more attention to Bitcoin, and that's going to pull it away from the alts. And I've been saying this for a long time. Bitcoin is going to be Bitcoin's. This is going to be Bitcoin's run, as global adoption is basically just, you know, we're just riding around the corner. We're peeking around the corner right now. Global adoption. We are that close. This is the cycle for Bitcoin, and that's where the attention will go, and people will start selling out their altcoins and altcoin bags to get into Bitcoin as it runs up. And with the short supply of Bitcoin, we might actually see some good prices out of Bitcoin this run. So don't forget about Bitcoin at all. I know it's the boomer coin, right? It's so expensive. It can't make those X's like the altcoins. It might impress you because it did take away from altcoins last cycle when we started going through that phase. It did. Altcoin season was nothing like 2017. We did not see those crazy highs that first altcoin season. It kind of gradually reduced, and a lot of the all-time highs on some of these altcoins did not make it up past their all-time highs in 2017. So that trend may continue. And Bitcoin dominance means most of the money is in Bitcoin. And we're sitting here right now, at 53%? Trying to work our way up to 60 and maybe beyond. I'm looking at this as a range, but also what if this is, I don't know, man. It's hard for me to imagine this, but if we got an Atom and E double bottom that confirms up here at 73%, doesn't mean that it will happen necessarily this cycle, but what if it's a setup for the next cycle where we come back and flag out and then we retest that area? There's a measured move from this. I mean, Bitcoin may become, very important globally. That will reflect in the dominance. Just throwing some ideas out there. Cake is working to the upside, man. I like that. So JN says, should I just put 2750 in alts and not Bitcoin or ETH? Or 2250 in alts and 500? I always maintain that you want at least half your portfolio in Bitcoin. That's my personal opinion. You don't have to do it. I'm just telling you from experience. Because I will tell you that last time with Bitcoin, during that run up, good Lord, what chart are we on here? Let's go this one. Let's get here on the weekly on Bitcoin. Everything's perpetual futures, man. Good Lord, I need a clear chart. I just got to have a clear chart. So I'll tell you, last time I was mostly in altcoins because that's where the money's at. That's where it was in 2017, right? I really didn't have, I had very little Bitcoin. And what happens is that Bitcoin took off right over here and left the alts behind. And it wasn't until, we were way up here, the alt started catching up a little bit. What it boils down to is that I would have done a lot better had I had more invested into Bitcoin. And I think this next cycle that is definitely true, as that's where more of the focus will be. That's where more of the bigger money is going to come into, and that's going to boost that price up. It's going to. And I think in the very beginning of this market, when we start running up there, I mean, altcoins will enjoy price lifting up, and they did last time too. But Bitcoin still outperformed them for the biggest part of the run. And so what I saw in my bags, I didn't see the gains that I was expecting to see. I got good gains, but they weren't the great gains. It was to the point where you get this high and I'm like, okay, this is working. We're not at the stories that I'm hearing. The numbers are going up. I like it. And it was, I don't know. I guess you could say maybe it's greed, or maybe it's like, I think it should do a little bit more though, shouldn't it? And then it dumps. Not very fun. So I would say, if now that I've got more into Bitcoin, man, when we get pullbacks on stuff, I'm cool. My portfolio, I mean, it drops, but it doesn't drop that much. It helps level things out. It'll make this a lot easier. So I just stress, at least you need at least half of your money in Bitcoin. Because if you're trying to play all the altcoin game, it doesn't always work out that great. That's just my opinions though. Jan says, but 1125 in Bitcoin won't do much. It doesn't seem like it would now, and I understand that, and that was my problem then. But Bitcoin goes to $150,000 from here. From 35,000. I mean, that's not bad. Like, it's to be a little bit better. And you might do better in altcoins, but that's the risk. I mean, just my take doesn't mean that it has to jive with you. If it doesn't resonate with you, then you got to do you. But that's just my personal experience, and that's why I'm doing things very different and going back to the OG strategy there. Because they told me back then. I didn't listen. And I'm not going to make that mistake twice. Oh, and I can't sit here without drawing on Bitcoin. But to look to see what's happening here, man, we got this 30,000. That's our new 20K. 30,000 is the new 20K. Okay, this is our new bottom now. 30,000. And at some point we'll probably come back and test that. But right now we're kind of in the range, and I'm trying to figure out exactly where that should be. And I think a fib would give you the very best at that 618. And that's at 48,000. So we're kind of into a new territory where we may range through here for a little while, just like we kind of ranged through this bottom part for a little while. And at some point, 30,000 will be retested. Getting in then with your 11,000, maybe not all at once. I'm just saying nibble. For Bitcoin, where we are now, man, your best strategy is just nibble, DCA and Bitcoin. Just keep and take some profits in your altcoins and put it into Bitcoin, you know, until you can kind of get your bag built up. That would be my suggestion if you're trying to put more Bitcoin in your portfolio, which I do recommend. It says, I know if you keep some in Bitcoin, the drops aren't as damaging. And that is so true, man. That is really true, man. My portfolio largely stayed level through all this crap. I had some drops, but Bitcoin bounces back and it all comes back. And I don't, it's I would have went crazy if I was just all in altcoins with some of the drops that we had. So Bitcoin is very helpful there, and I ended up losing some of my Bitcoin in the KuCoin debacle, where I was doing a strategy with my Bitcoin, and I ended up taking some hits on that, and it kind of makes me mad because it's so hard for me to build that. So how much? I'm still trying to make up that little loss. Now it's still good because it's still mostly in altcoins, but I meant it to stay a little bit more Bitcoin heavy. Jan says, I don't care about the drops as long as my alt's 10 to 15x, I'm good. Let's see, we had some more to look at there, right? And also, we'll take a look at eGold. This is one that, you know, I got a bag of this, but I have not added to it at all. Just because I got mixed feelings for them. They just seem like they don't have a direction, man. So as far as a long-term play, I'm not sure how I feel about them, but they can definitely make money, and it's got some recovery. It's got definitely some prices to recover. But it's doing good, and I do expect it to go back up. Remember, this thing did reach about $500 there. And 151 is actually a great target to start out with, my personal opinion. Because overall, in the bigger scheme of things, here on the weekly chart, it's got to get above that to have any chance of going any higher. There is a lot of there's not much there to hold price until we get up to about $129. So there could be a nice little play here. It's a very shallow falling wedge, kind of like a diving board, according to Thomas Bukowski, that gives you more leverage for a bigger jump to the upside. 100 moving average is coming in at 74, and that would be a great short-term target for anybody just out there looking to trade. But we don't have an official breakout on the larger time frames. Now, we come to the daily, you can kind of see that there is a breakout. The weekly is not confirmed. Sadly, it's not even confirmed on the daily, but it does look very strong to me. It's got a lot of volume there. It may actually stick. So there could be an actual trade setup and making a buy as close to that trend line as possible. A bounce off of that trend line would be ideal. Man, you got a 2xer right there. That's a moon bag. You put a stop loss. Ooh, that's a big stop loss though. I don't like that. But a possibility, getting this around $36, $38 if we come back there on this time frame. Let's see if there's a possibility of that happening. 4 hours says no, ain't happening yet. But there will be a pullback. And man, you can moonbag that so easy. So I kind of like that idea. If I'm going to have a project like this, I'd rather have a moonbag than one that I've got capital stuck in and not know what it's going to do. And as I said about eGold, I'm not so sold on them, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to do awesome. Because eGold, they've done token migrations or reductions, and then they switched to Multiverse X, switching their name. It's like they just don't have a solid direction and keeps changing their goalpost. And that just tells me that we got a wishy-washy team that really doesn't, you know, where's your solid use case? There's a maximum supply of 31 million, so I like that. That can help us get those bigger prices. $1.16 billion market cap, so relatively low, can definitely 10x from here. And total supply is 26 million, so most of it out in circulation. So I kind of like that. Its all-time high was $542, and we're sitting at $44 right now. So she's trying to get a breakout, just haven't got it confirmed. Come here to the 4-hour time frame and see what we got, and it's ready to rock. But a pullback is in order because it's way above that non-moving average. So getting it in 36, 38, I definitely think we can see that after we get a little bit of pullback. And do remember, total 3, we've got a good chance to get a pullback. We're at a support resistance area right now on the weekend. Why is this pumping on the weekend? Who's here buying all this on the weekend? Is it retail? Is it really? Is it really retail? How many of your friends are calling you saying, hey man, I'm going to buy me some eGold? I mean, who's out here talking about this? Is it really retail? No, it's some bigger money in this game. And it may be a manipulation tactic. Just throwing some ideas out there. But right now, I gotta say, she looks like she's wanting to try to bust through that. Now, if we see that, if this happens, where we break above that, baby, we may see $25 billion come in really quick, and we may see our altcoins just pump to the sky over the next few days. So that's what I got my eye on. We could be running, or we could be getting a pullback. We're at that resistance area. And can I come to 1 hour? 1 hour is not telling me anything. Actually, what I see is rising price and falling volume. So that's starting to hint that we may get rejected here. Just throwing that out there. But that's the clue I'm looking at right there on the total 3, this 4-hour chart. Are we going to make it above there, or are we going to get rejected? That's going to be the key to how we should play our altcoins. Because we get rejected there, you need to be taking profits, because money's going to be moving out and probably moving back into Bitcoin. So, coin that we looked at recently, Tectum, which I nibbled at, And it's still, I never did get a big bag of this. I was just a nibbling between seems like it's about $5.70 on up to about $6. And now we're up to $8.41. We did have a breakout of this trend line right here, right? And we went parabolic, or we're continuing to go parabolic here on the 4 hour. I got a target all the way up here at $11.12, and even our 618 Fibonacci up there at $12.43. $11.12 is what I meant to say on the first target. $12.43 on the second, because, well, we've done two things. We've broken down, either you can look at it as a channel, or if we take that one away, a falling wedge. Falling wedge has a nice little measured move, but takes us right up to this area. Let me move him down just a little bit, match that. 1429. Very possible to see there. So TET, nice play. I wish I could have got more, a little cheaper, but hey, I'll take what I can get. Little bags can turn into bigger bags. Well, the bags may not grow, but the value of them do. So seeing that happen a lot. Another one that's been popping off is a Rune at $3.48. My Rune bag is happy. Daddy happy today. Let's get an idea real quick about how some of my long-term holds are doing. Let me get in my ledger account here. And I'm going to go over this past month. Now, I've got Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those are my two biggest ones. And also in here, I've got a bigger bag of Cardano, Solana, which of course is now gaining traction, XRP, Polkadot, Decred, got some Bitcoin Cash, some Polygon, some Phantom, and now we're starting to get down to the lower ones that I've got: Multiverse X, Horizon, Algorand, Filecoin, and now we're getting into small bags like we're talking about. Over this past month's 25% gains. 25% gains out of that wallet. So, and in the last week, 7%. Nice little jump today, actually. My bags be pumping and I like it. I'm not going to talk bad about it. This is why we do all this. This is why we go through all this pain in your HODL bags, through all this crap season, so that we can start seeing this number go up and start seeing this game actually work for us. And I'm cool with that. Let's check our target here on this falling wedge. I already ran through my other targets there. Let's knock those off, and it's already bypassed the target for this falling wedge. Right there at 296. So you look for a retest of that area possible for Rune. Like to see this thing. That's about $3. We need to see it hold above $3. But she's got some plans, looks like. Might be a good idea to take some profit soon. She's starting to get a little bit tired, but then again, since I don't have this on an exchange, I probably honestly will not worry about that, and I will be just kind of concentrating on my bigger targets. Most notably, the 618 is going to be my prime targets now. Starting to look at the bigger pictures for some of these bigger goals, because this is where we're headed over the next 6 months or so. And we're coming up to this 236 area right now, and that is the make or break point. So we need to see Rune get above 360 before we can see more upside. We do see some more upside. I'm targeting at $8.27, which is a nice price for Rune. And it can do it, and it can hang out there for a little while. But it's got to get above this 236 area, or else we're pulling back and we're going to range out for a little while. I'm not crazy about seeing that. If I do see some rejection here, I may actually move some Rune over and sell it, and then try to put some orders in to buy it cheaper and build a bag of it. Build my bag bigger. That would be my game plan for Rune. But I'm not going to do it too early. So just an idea on Rune. You go, baby. We've not seen these prices since, you know, right around August or May of 22. So definitely room bags are growing. Oh man. Should I moonbag? I could moonbag it now. I have some thoughts to do with Rune. I do want to moonbag though. All right, so I got some decisions to make on some of me coins too. Striga says, once it goes nuts, everyone's going to come out of the woodworks to stream it live. Yep. So my personal opinion, I mean, I find it interesting that we're the last few weekends that we've been starting to get more pumps into the market over the weekends. That's a good sign, but it's not retail yet. We're getting some, but no, it's some whales at play. They know what's up. They know what's up. And so we got whales, but we also got some more VCs in this time, trying to get it established well. And then we just got some straight up manipulation. Hey, let's bump this up, market makers, so that get these orders filled. Let these whales do their manipulation here. Is it manipulation? Well, we got price going up. Who's pushing the price up? And why would they push it up if they're not going to push it back down? Because that's part of the game. But I got to tell you, things are looking good though, man. They are, even Rune. Anytime that you're riding above a 9 moving average, man, especially on a 4 hour, a daily, a weekly, those are the prime ones, but on any chart that you're above the 9 moving average, riding above it like that, you are in a great trend. And it does this. You ride above the 9, you pull back to the 21. You ride above the 9, you pull back to the 21. You ride above the 9, pull back to the 21. And then when you start getting tired, it'll pull back to the 50. And then, you know, hey, man, gotta evaluate. Are you going back up or are we starting to do something different here? 5 moving average strategy, dude. A lot of people just focus on the 21 and the 200. They're missing the beauty of what you can get with these other moving averages and how they work and intertwine on how they talk to each other. Jan, what do you think about KSM? Kasama, I like it. And I do have a little bit of that, which, gosh, man, this thing has been bit the dirt. Oh, what do we have? A pattern? I stole this. I think I stole this from Mitch Ray. Because this is not my forte, but we got a pattern, and this would be a type 2 retest of that bottom there. Which can happen. Which, you know, meaning that this pattern doesn't help me out at all. It doesn't give me a... It's not my style of trading, but I do find it fascinating. I like the ones that kind of tell me where price is going to go. And that one does not, but this one does. This one tells me we could be coming back up to $46, and gosh, man, we need to. Honestly, I think, where did I get in on this? I think I'm in around 36 or 38 on this, and I quit buying on it. And it's 23 right now. Or did I get some? I may have got some at 28. Back over here. I was over here, and I think I'm in the red on this. But I still have that back, and playing this for a long-term hold, you know, that's just part of it. But now we're starting to recover. It's starting to look good. We do have the breakout with volume, so that's what you want to see with the breakout. You want to see more volume come to the upside. See if we can blow that up so we can see that. Very critical of a breakout. If you do not have volume during a breakout, it's not a good breakout. Now there's a chance to get a retest, but right now we got the same situation we had with the other ones where we're above the 200 daily moving average and the 9's getting ready across it. Ichimoku Cloud likes it. I think it's getting ready to head to the upside more. And yeah, you can take a measure move from this to there. And that will tell you about 35.49 would be your measured move. And I always like to look for a little confluence to tell me about how help me get more probabilities to hit that. The closer I am to like an area like the 618 right here, the more confluence that we have. Any other signs saying we got more confluence just increases the probability that that target will hit and that I'm going to lean with that one. So I'm looking at that 618 fib. We're at the 236 right now. And I think we just ran over this same scenario with another one. We got to get above that 236 after we clear it. We're headed toward the 618. If we don't clear it, we're going to range down here for a while, and that will not be fun. So that 236 area where we're at right now is very, very important. We've got to see it keep going. Looks like it wants to pull back on the smaller time, or on the bigger time frame. What does it say on the smaller ones? 4 hours, still golden. Still golden on the 4 hour, so it still looks good. So I see some more upside on KSM. Striga says, I miss KSM. No, really, you didn't, because at $23 where it's at now, that's pretty good. It's cheaper than where I bought in. You know, this one can get pricey. It did in the last one. Now, it all depends on Polkadot and what goes on with it. And I gotta say, Polkadot's just been kind of lagging as far as how they present themselves marketing. Like, they've lost some steam. And hopefully they'll gain that back. And maybe working with Cosmos ecosystem and some other interoperability plays that will help. I know they do work with WanChain, another interoperability play that nobody talks about until it does something. Because they don't market. They're just straight up functional and utility. And I do like it, but it can be a downside for a project that doesn't throw out money for marketing, and WanChain does not. But let's take a look here. Token KSM. Now I think it's a great place to dollar cost average into this, if nothing else. But man, $25, man, that's a juicy price in my personal opinion. Total supply is 9.6 million, and it's at $23. Market cap 202 million. Still low. That's still really low for it. So I don't think it's too early. All time high. May 18th, 2021, $623. And I just, you know, if we get back to 300, is it cool? About a 15x, is that cool? That's cool. Get back to 600 or higher? I don't know if it will. It could. I'm happy with just half of that at 300. Just as a mediocre target to look at. That's still good gains in my personal opinion. So I don't know that I have enough dry powder to actually do anything with this, but even at these prices, I do kind of like it. We don't really have a top here, so it's kind of hard to guess where to get back in unless you stick with your moving averages. It doesn't look like it's slowing down right now though. I mean, we could say pull back to the 382. That's possible. It's a 50 moving average. Could it get back to 21? That would be juicy too. Or could it get back to 19? Maybe. But, we got to get a top out there first. She doesn't seem to be doing that quite yet. Some bearish divergence is forming here, but yeah, it all comes to drawing a line in the sand. She's trying to go parabolic. She's trying to. So this is the line I would look at right here. If that breaks, then we can start looking at, $19, $20 maybe. Uh-oh. Did I start the music all over again by accident? Maybe so, maybe so.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, guys, I'm going over here to check the chat out. Haven. gifted one Road Dog crypto membership. Thank you very much for that. You are the first to do that. I appreciate that very much. So what that means that when you guys can, I don't know how you do it. I have no clue. Can claim that membership. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Haven. Hey, Claudio, I haven't seen you here before. Welcome to the stream. Ego pumping over previous max. We just got through and talking about Ego just a few minutes ago. And yeah, I think it looks good. It's doing some good things. As far as a long-term hold, I don't know when. Okay, Marco Shin. Okay, Marco got that. All right, cool. I'm behind the times, guys. I'm behind here. But yeah, we looked at Ego earlier, and you can rewind it there. I just don't want to keep repeating the same things, but for me, it's a long-term hold, and at some point, I'll take profits on it. I try to make it a rule not to sell out of 100% of everything, just to keep a little bit in case, you know, it keeps going. Strega says Crow is almost 7 cents. Good. I'm not going to feel the FOMO until it gets about 8 cents. And I'll say, oh, I should have bought more. Surprisingly, it did well last time. Even though, you know, I've got mixed feelings about this. I feel like I got a raw deal when I got my card, bought this at 18 cents and then dropped down to 4 and stayed there forever. And I thought, I just been suckered. I just been had. And they had all these coins, but when it started getting up to like, what was it, 70 cents or something? I was kind of like, hey, Crow, you're kind of cool. It got up to right around $1. Now here's the mistake I made. I had this over on my card and I thought I was locked in. I thought it was kind of like Atom where you had to unstake it for 21 days. Not the deal with Crow. Once you have it in and you're staking it, you get your time period over, you can pull it out at any time. If I had realized that, I could have took profits, but I just let the thing ride down until it got like down to this point. I was like, I gotta do something. And then I figured out, oh crap, I could have took profits when it was up here at 70, 80 cents. I mean, think about it. 18 cents is when I got into it for the most part. And then it you know, and they made me buy a bunch of it, right? I had to put $1,800 in at 18 cents and then watch it go down to 4 cents. I was pissed. I was so pissed. But I ended up coming out okay. Just took a long time. And so I'm not against it. I got a little bag of it, not nearly as much as I had before. Well, no, actually, I think it probably... Is it? But they keep changing what you need to have the card or whatever, and that gets old. That makes me just second guess them because they need to be more consistent on that stuff. They seem to have a bait and switch thing that I do not appreciate. And they like to change the terms in the middle. Oh, if you do this and lock your coins up this, you'll get this, this, and this. And then about 6 months later, they change it and say, oh, we gotta change it. And I'm like, well, you're scamming people. I mean, you're not acting with integrity, or you're not managing your company well to be able to pull off what you say. So neither one of those is good. So, but I do like crypto.com. I do use them. I do use their card. I do like the card. But it just makes me, I have to second guess them just by some of the things that they do. And I don't recommend keeping your coins over there. I think they got very lucky not to have gotten blasted with the whole Terra Luna thing and FTX debacles. I think they made it out by the skin of their teeth. I swear I do. Measure takes us up to about 9 cents. I got a target right around 9 cents right there that we could be looking at in the short term, and then maybe this thing can go up. The biggest headache I'd be looking for is this trend line here whenever it catches up with that. Currently just going straight up. That's under 28 cents. It could be up to 48 to 50 cents by the time it actually hits that. So she looks like she's going up. She's getting a breakout with volume, with a little volume, not the volume that I want to see. So that's kind of interesting. But as long as she's riding that 9 train, hey, no complaints here, baby. Keep riding that train. Claudio says gas is looking good. Gas is, and I should have some because I got Neo. And I know if I were staking that on the Neo wallet, which I don't think I have active anymore, you would earn that. Some of these exchanges, oh, jeez. Shout out to gas, who's went up just a crazy 3.5x over these past 2 weeks. That's amazing. I'm sitting here looking at this one is like $7 2 days ago, and now we're sitting at 12. That is amazing. Jeez. There's got to be a story behind that that I just do not have, but that is crazy. So that's definitely making some people some money right there. Let's check out Neo real quick. Same thing happening with Neo. Oh, good, because I do have a bag of Neo. It's just that it's over. Is it on the exchange or in a wallet? I think I've got it on exchange because I don't think I had a place, a wallet to move it to. So up to $11. Coolly. Oh, I like that. So let's zoom out and take a look at Neo. It's not everyone's favorite coin. It is a Chinese favorite though. Chinese people like it. It's Chinese version of Ethereum is how it's been described. Bottom territory, even still now at $11, we're still not far from the bottom territory around $6, okay? Meaning that, have we seen this before? You see this? And it went up to $136. It could do that again. If it does do that again, what do we have? We got two of the juiciest round bottoms I think I've ever seen, other than perhaps in this picture here. But this is nice. And that would give us potentially, not saying that this is going to happen, this is kind of probably best to be looked at as maybe a little bit of hopium. Doge, don't inhale, doggy. Don't inhale, doggy. Breathe it out. I didn't mean to blow it on you. So, looking at this far term, is it possible that we could see $268 out of Neo? It's possible if the chain takes off. I haven't checked it for development or anything, but here's one thing that I would look at. We do have this trend line here, so that's kind of pointing that, well, I mean, you just kind of have to guesstimate where it might actually hit up there, but you know, maybe $80. Let's see if we got a Fibonacci area that's giving us some confluence there. But yep, the 618 definitely at $91 could be a nice little target, but just like we said on a lot of others, it's got to get above that 236 area, and that's currently at 39.57. That might be a nice area to set alerts, take some profit. Maybe to moon back what I've got there. But nice, I like seeing that. Wish I had some gas from holding it for as long as I've held it, because I know I've earned some, but you don't always get it when you're on the exchanges. But somebody does. Somebody profits from that. Sugar says, I got an alert for for Floki Safe Moon? Is it pumping? Traeger, are you in on Floki Safe Moon? Oh, look at this. Let's get to a 4-hour chart here. Oh, she's flagging out there. Flagging out. Oh, I don't like that so much. We broke that. And now we got kind of this going on. So if this trend line breaks, I would be very concerned. Let's zoom out just a little bit here. 12-hour. What we got going on here? Nice. But it could be flagging up to go up to our target here if we do that. So I'm looking just a little bit more to take my profit, but nice move. So appreciate you saying that, because I would have forgot to look at that. MACD is starting to get a little bit tired, but it hasn't flipped yet, and that's the only indicator that I've really got that works on DEX tools over here. I don't have much that works over here, so pretty much price action. Biggest concern is this big wick over here, but what gets wick could get candlestick, so that would be cool. We get up to 2200. We're currently sitting at 1340, but making some higher highs and higher lows. So are we? Well, not a higher high than that, but higher lows anyway. So cool. Third Eye Media. Hey, welcome to the show, man. I'm over here looking at my chat. Got stopped out of most of my link bag. Now it's running. Rookie mistake. How is link? My link is, I think it's over on my Tangem wallet. And I'm just holding that baby. I wanted to make sure I got at least a couple of hundred of those little suckers this time. I remember at the beginning of the last bull run, I had like 100 link and I sold them earlier, and I tried to regain that. You know, you sell and then you plan on buying back cheaper, but you know, something doesn't always work out that way. It's always good in theory, great theory, just hard to put in practice sometimes, either because price doesn't go where you think, or you are your big problem and you know, your emotions and stuff get in the way. So it is tricky trying to do some of these strategies. I'm just telling you. Link is pumped up. Oh, we're at $12 now? Nice, because it was at 11 and that was looking juicy. So let's clear this out. Let's take a good look at Link. Because I really haven't taken a good look at it. I'm on the weekly chart here and we're approaching the 200 moving average, and that's going to be interesting right there at $13, $13.12 is what it actually says. That's going to be a hurdle. Ichimoku cloud, it went through the red. We got that little sliver of green right over here. Can you guys see that? Love that. And you see how far away this little bitty tiny sliver is from the price? Great sign for more upward action right there. So we've been in a range forever, and there's been theories. Well, actually they kind of prove true for most of the time, that as Link got up to this area here, about 950 in that area, the Bitcoin would tank when it got up there, and it did that many times. And now we've broken out of that area. I find that very fascinating. And now we're heading toward $13. And the question is, are we going to get rejected there and end up kind of ranging through here? Could happen, or can we break up above it and do a new range? And I mean, I can't tell you that at the moment. I can just tell you that, you know, the 9's getting ready to cross the 100. That could be good. Could be. But price can always come back to see that 9 moving average. And currently that's at $8 on the weekly chart. That's a little low. However, on the daily, the 9 moving average is at 1124, and we've just popped right off of it. And you can't get much more bullish than that on the daily. And the moving averages are fanning out beautifully. It's a nice, strong move. VMC or Market Cipher, whichever version you use. I use VMC, the free one. We got money flow is thick in the green. VWAP is coming to the upside past the 0 line. Got the green dot here, and stochastic's headed to the upside. It looks golden on the daily. I like that. So looks like possible more upside for Link, in my personal opinion. And I like the 3-day. I think I'm going to hang out on the 3-day chart here for this. Above the 200 moving average there on the 3-day. I likes it. Now we can always, like we've been doing over here, is take a Fibonacci from this swing high to that swing low and get us some more realistic price targets, and look at the same thing. 236 area, that's where we got confluence now from what we had before. Support resistance. That's a very important area. Same thing we mentioned on the other ones. We got to get above that, else we're going to range out somehow. We get above that, we're looking at hitting this 618 area, and that's currently coming in about $26. So yummy target right there, in my personal opinion. We got to mark that little guy. And there will be, you know, each fib level that we go through, we'll find a hiccup and probably a pullback. So just keep that in mind. It'll just kind of stair step its way up there eventually. But that's a good place to look at taking profit, because that is definitely an area where people like to short this. But if we start getting past it, we start looking at the higher Fibonacci area, this 786 area. And that's coming in at 31 and 31. Yeah, I remember when Link was hanging around $31 a lot. Hung out there for a while. Oh, the good old days. And we'll see those good old days again. And hopefully it will give us some of those life-changing money. Claudio says, Gala is dropping. Thinking of going long around just a little under 2 cents. Gala's an interesting play, man. I don't know how I feel about it. I think I've got a small bag over on crypto.com. I've got a lot of little small degen bags, and then I've got my major holds. But some of these old degen bags are starting to turn into some nice little holds. Okay, I'll have to look for that later. So Gala Games, we got a double bottom scenario here, and double bottom scenario here on the 3-day, local double bottom, but retesting this area there. And yeah, we're in a range right now, and got to get above that. What is that line here? We looked at this other night. It's just right under 2.2 cents. And yeah, I'm right with you. We got rejected off the 50 here. I'm on the 3-day, by the way. Got rejected off the 50 moving average, and we should be coming back to that 9 moving average, and that is coming in at 0.01582. A little bit less than the target that you've got there, but let's come over to the daily. The daily, the target would be this 21, and that's at 0.016. And it's possible to hit those. What's also possible is this, if we're getting bullish here on the smaller time frame, are we? Let's take a look. We lost this guy. That was our trend. We lost it, retested, and now we're trying to ride its leg up. We could be looking at a double top here. Short-term time frames looks bullish to me, actually. And I could see us coming back up and maybe double topping and then getting our pullback. Or it could be going on its own little trajectory. It's kind of a little bit difficult to say, but I'm seeing some bullish signs here. Definitely some bearish divergence that I see playing out. Possible formation of a head and shoulders pattern, which would be kind of normal to see after breaking that trend line, and that could definitely bring us down. Let's see what we got here. If that scenario plays out, it's not confirmed yet, so I don't want to sit here. I got the head and shoulders forming right here. Bring us to the downside. Yeah, it's too early for that crap, man. Too many people get wishy-washy, flip-flopping too much. That's at 0.104. So I'm getting a few targets a little bit lower than what you got. Doesn't mean that they will hit, but just some possibilities there. But yeah, I agree. It looks like it's going to come up. 4 hour looks like it's got some legs to keep coming up. Short term, but then possibly get rejected there with the bearish divergence. So you either got that going on, or here's another little trick to use. You can see this. I'm gonna get my trend line here. This little line here. Okay, I'm gonna make a copy of it and I'm gonna drag it down. So there's a little bit of confluence, not perfect. It's got a little bit of an angle up there. But we may just be in another channel, just dropping a level, but still working our way up with higher highs and higher lows. That's what I gotta keep an eye on. It's got some bullish signs there. Even on the 1 hour. I gotta say this, and I say this a lot. As long as we're riding above the 9 moving average, that green trend line on all these time frames, man, it's bullish. It's bullish, and it's there on all of them. A little bit of a hiccup here on the 8. test, but from before on down, it's above the 9 moving average. And even on the daily. So my gosh. Honestly, I think we're headed back up here and retesting the 200 moving average, and it may be at 2.2 cents by the time it touches, but it looks like that's what we're going to do. Daily actually looks kind of strong. So there may not be a pullback to there. The 100 moving average here on the daily would be a good place to look. And the 21 looks like it's coming up to meet it there and hopefully cross over. And that's at 0.017. But when I look at it here, man, it looks like a flag with a breakout. The only thing is there's no volume on that breakout, so I'm not trusting it. See how price is coming down here? And the price went up there, but then again, could be in the early stages of a breakout. Let's look at this. We got money flow coming in the upside. Stochastics haven't turned around yet, but they may. If we see that, definitely expect something. VWAP coming to the upside, and we got the green dot there. So there's some bullish signs here that she may not be done going up. And I know that sucks because when it breaks a major trend line and it doesn't go down, it starts leg riding is what I call it, where it's just riding the underneath or top of something. Sometimes they can do double bottoms and then do what they're supposed to do, and sometimes they can just keep going in that channel. So we got to keep an eye on that. It's looking bullish. But yeah, she was dropping, but now she's looking like she's wanting to do something else right now. Okay, let's take a look at this. Here's one little breakout that we had, just from right here. And now this is looking at local areas, and it's not as important as the bigger ones. Oh wow, she just pumped up. So that's a little bullish for a little bit of parabolic activity short term. And then we've also got this. Now this could give us where we may actually get rejected at. What is that? Just a little over 2.06. We're at 2.03. We're talking fractions of a penny right now. Overall, I would be looking at the top of this. I'm still looking at just right under 2.2, 2.19 is actually the target that I've got there. We're trying to work our way back up there to retest that. Will it or will it not? I don't know, because it's got to get past this. This would be a good test. This top wick right here. It matches up with this area over here. If we get above that, could see some more upside, and if we get rejected there, well, might get a better buy. But we're coming up to find that over the next, well, within the next hour, we should get a feel what it's going to do there. Just looking bullish to me, though. I will say that there is some bearish divergence here on the 15 right there, so we may actually see that rejection. Sucks when you can't get a straight answer, but I mean, the bigger time frames are looking bullish for it, so I think there's some more upside. I really do. And JN says that total 3 is moving. She is, but she's still not got that breakout I'm looking for. And that's going to be the critical thing. But yeah, keep an eye on total 3. That will help guide you. And if we do, like I said, we break up above that, even coming down on the 1 hour, that'll be the sign that things may be starting to jump off and pop off parabolic. And if we start getting rejected here, we might want to pull some profits a little bit anyway, just to catch some things out on the way down.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Striga says, what's a good profit? Are you talking about for Gala? For Gala? For like longer term? I'm still looking for this channel to break out. And so we're kind of looking at just a guesstimation that, or was that 7.6 cents? kind of a weird one to do. My thoughts on I mean, with their lawsuit going on, with the disruption with the team, I mean, will it recover? I mean, I don't know, but I mean, taking a risk at it, you know, at a bottom price, I can't blame anybody for doing that, because most people in crypto are more risk takers than those not. Straight, I would say on this one, on swing high to swing low, that good old trusty 1.27 gives us confluence up here at this measure move we got at 7.7 cents, 7.66 for the 272. I'll move it right down there. That's what I would be looking for. Same situation we'd be looking at on the other ones. We got to get above this 236. That's where a 200 moving average is on the daily. That's at 2.3 cents. And once we do that, then we can start working for those higher areas like the 618. That's at 4.3 cents. So it could 2x or a little bit more than 2x just to get to the golden pocket, or the 618 right there. We know it's headed that way. That's just how this works. But we gotta get above 0.2.3. So that's the initial, that's the first target, 2.3. And then hopefully further from there. The 236 doesn't break out of my trend line. The 618 does, and then definitely right here at 7.6 cents. That one looks like it's going to hit. It may take a little time, but we got the confluence saying that one's a great target to shoot for. And from where we are now, that is 274% profit, and whoops. But stop loss, whether you're doing this on spot or whatever, spot I would put under the 100 moving average on that flag there. Still in the day, that time frame. That's 17%. That's a lot, in my personal opinion. I would actually go quicker. I would go under some of these candles if I were one with a stop loss. I think 10% is a decent stop loss. And so we're on daily candles, and if we make a lower low on a candle like this, well, chances are that what we're looking at may not play out. So underneath these daily candles is good. Wherever you feel comfortable with your stop loss, basically. You guys have to figure that out yourself, based on your trading style and what you're doing. But the gains possible, very good. Risk reward ratio for what is that, 10%, 11% stop loss is 25 to 1. You don't see that. Striga says, I've seen it way higher. You've seen the Gala price way higher? Yeah. And I'm not saying that that's as far as it will go. That's just, you know, some good local targets. But for long-term hold, I mean, we're talking about like bull run. This is the targets I'm getting out here is mostly for like your swing trades and things. 52 cents sounds very reasonable to me, and 66 cents sounds very reasonable to me, and one to hope for. $1.06 and $1.18 look yummy for. Oh, I've got to do this in a different thing there. Long term, I would be looking for $1, and we're sitting here at 2 cents. So, but will it do it with all the stuff going on? That's the question. Will it recover from, you know, you got the team that's fighting each other, suing each other in court over money and allocations, and so they don't have a solid direction. That affects things. So that would be my concern. Striga says, you're daydreaming now, but I see what you mean. Yeah, this is not one that I am holding and planning on getting any of these things. I'm skittish about it just because of what's going on. But you never know. This market doesn't work the way a lot of the stock markets do. This one's based on hype, and whoever's got the best hype and the best story and whatever, you know, that makes number go up. A lot of these projects don't have anything. A lot of these coins don't do anything. As far as I know, Gala token really doesn't do a damn thing. Whereas Nakamoto has a little bit more of a use case. I don't think Gala token actually does a damn thing. You don't really need a token to have a game. At least with Naka, they're taking other games and at least making them where you can play to earn. And I don't know, it's just a little different twist from what I understand. But I'm not an expert on Gala. I'll just put that out there because it's not one of my main thrills. But I got to say, you know, as long as she's above the 9, you're doing good in whatever time frame. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a night. It is, oh gosh, we went for 2 hours tonight. Bless your heart for sticking with me that long, but I appreciate it that you have. If you can, hit that like button and help this video to stream to reach others and our channel to reach others. I greatly appreciate that. But I will see you guys tomorrow night as we see what happens after 4 or 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, my time, when the CME opens up and see how the market reacts. And then we'll have a better feel for what to expect on Monday going into the market. All right. God bless you all, and I'll see you tomorrow night.
Come on, come here, boy. Come on. You freaky dog. I don't need to analyze. Every word that comes out is a lie. Make it look like you're so ice, ice, ice. You won't make it to the finish line. Nope. Now if you gotta know the truth was gonna let you go. You was fine, never mind. Unpredictable. Feet eye off the ground, you ain't no one. You a star, blow it up like supernova. In the nighttime, hit my hotline. Sharing secrets, you was really was about your life. Basic bullets, with no bullets. Does your wifey know you're begging for my new